Good evening, Mike. Good evening, Queen YSA. How are you today?
Very well. The better for seeing you.
Yes, same here. Okay, now welcome everyone. We have 10 people on the platform, so I think we're good to go. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining today. We expecting more people to join. Hopefully, they'll catch up as we go along. It would be nice to actually see everybody's faces, everybody's beautiful faces. Let's just see, it doesn't matter if you're in your PJ, whatnot, we're all, it's just us. So yeah, yay. That's it. So let's just, sometimes it's actually good to, like Shizba will say, so let's just see each other and just, all for the better. So yeah, once again, thank you all so much for joining. Good evening once again. And then this is the FILAE event. The purpose of actually having this meeting is just to, obviously this is a general meeting for us to look at what we've done so far. And obviously we have plans, that we've been planning all this while. We've been able to achieve some of them, to the glory of God. We wanted to share this with everyone. Some of you are on the platform and you know what we've done anyways, but then we just thought, let's just talk about it, the experiences, that we actually had, how it went for us, what we think we can do better. We want to just impact, and while you're trying to impact, you want to see what you can do better, so ideas, we need ideas from everyone, so please contribute, whenever you're ready, you feel to. You can always just private chat me or just put it in the group chat, is fine. We are all one anyway. So yeah, the purpose of this meeting really, number one, is for general meeting, then also the focus is actually about the focus is to celebrate women. Are you having access to my laptop? Because I was just about to open this and then I can see this. I'm like, okay. Anyway, it's fine. So we're actually doing this women celebration this week, and then we just thought, okay, let's just have Friday. Obviously we thought everybody will be back from work on Friday evening, looking to just have a nice weekend. Let's just have it on Friday, so we can just see how we can all come together and celebrate us women from all walks of life. So my name is Sakinat. Perfect. Okay. So my name is Sakinat Adams. I'm the host for today, and I also happen to be the secretary for FILAE. Yay. So I don't know if we can actually have everyone introduce themselves so we know who is on board. Obviously, I can see the names, but for everyone else to see who is on board, it would be really nice. So can we, but instead of, can we just have people just introduce themselves quickly in like 1-2 seconds, minutes? Thank you. Thank you, Queens.
My name is Yetunde Awolese.
Okay. Welcome on board, Queen YSA.
Thank you.
Yeah, can we have, who else is trying?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Yemisi Bamishile.
Okay.
And I'm striking the pose. I think we all should do that.
Yes.
It's a feeling thing.
Break the bias.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Yemisi Bamishile. Nice to have you on board. And who else is trying to come in? I think I picked an American accent from you, Bamishile. Are you from the US?
Let me speak Yoruba.
No, it's fine. Let's speak English anyway. We are all good. Yeah, thank you. So who else is trying to, can we all have, ladies, please, and Timmy and sisters, please, let's just, yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aisha. Oh, is someone else talking? Sorry.
No, go on, President.
Okay. Hello. Hi, everyone. FILAE Queens. My name is Aisha Gwajabiamila. and I'm one of the FILAE queens, and I'm the president of FILAE.
One of the FILAE queen.
Yes.
The FILAE queen. Okay.
And I'm breaking the bias as well. So.
Yeah. We are. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. BC.
Hi, everyone. I'm joining for the first time from the US, and I'm from the alumni group. I'm representing our alumni group.
Oh, okay.
And thank you for visiting our school recently in Lagos. So I'm here to support and, help break the bias as well, build our girls, and let them know they can achieve anything they set their minds to, and raise the bar for them, and also hand over the baton for them as well to keep running. So thanks for all that.
Thank you so very much for that.
Nice to see your face.
I know, same here.
Thanks.
Yeah, so thank you so very much, Mrs. BC. We appreciate you. Who else is coming up? I start sharing names now. If nobody's coming on. Mrs. Biladek. Yeah, hello, who's there?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
My name is Queen Biladek, Queen Balikis Adebayo. Can we start calling ourselves Queen, please?
Because we are queens.
We can't see your face though, Queen Biladek. What happened? You decided to.
Because I'm driving, so I have to connect my phone with with the car speaker on the car speaker, whatever. So I can't hold the phone because I'm driving.
Okay.
But you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. We welcome.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
thank
because
you.
I'm driving, so I connect my phone with.
Okay, welcome on board, sis.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for joining. We appreciate you too. So now Mrs. BC Olabisi Oladejo, please. Mrs. BC Oladejo. Okay, I'll just move on to Mrs. Odukunle Olufunke, Honorable. Talk, because don't chat me, talk. Honorable. Honorable Funke?
Yeah.
Introduce yourself, please.
Hello. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, I'm Honorable Funke Brima, the program coordinator of FILAE.
Okay. Thank you so much. Nice to see your face again. Thanks for joining. We have our chat pizza. My Hamala Honorable. I had to bust your bubble, sorry. Thank you so much. So now,
I'm missing it already.
honestly, she's not making everybody hit Amala in FILAE.
Sister Sekino, I'm angry with you. Don't just say anything there.
Amala and Tuwo. Sister Yetunde is missing out already. Sister Yetunde, she's shaking her head. Sorry. No, next time we go to Nigeria together. We all plan it. Sorry.
Sister Sekino should not just say anything there. I'm angry with her.
That's why I'm using padlock already.
Okay, better.
I've zipped.
Better.
Don't worry, we'll catch up after. Thank you. Yeah, Mrs. Alim, Yusirat Abosede, please, ma'am. Are you there? Mrs. Bashiru Afusat. Okay, all right. So so once again, thank you all so much for joining. We'll just move on to the next agenda. Thank you all so much for the introduction. we know who we are now. So, you know, I just wanted to make it more interactive, basically. So now, we do have 2 speakers joining us today. Okay. We have 2 speakers joining us today. We have Mrs. Yemisi Bamishile, and we also have Mrs. Memuna Aide Daudu. Mrs. Yemisi did introduce herself earlier. Honorable, okay, I was going to say meet yourself. So Mrs. Bamishile did introduce herself already. Mrs. Memunas, I don't think she's on the platform now. And we do have the FILAE, the founder, Ajay Shabujabiam, she'll be speaking as well. So those are the 2 people that will be speaking later today. But to open the floor, can we have the president give us an opening speech, please? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. As you all know, my name is Ajay Shabujabiamila. I'm the founder of FILAE We Fly. And I know we've talked about this so many times about what FILAE stands for. So, you know, FILAE, it basically is, you know, stands for Females in Leadership and Empowerment. So the idea of FILAE is to try and empower girls, is to, you know, one of the things we're talking about is, you know, gender equality. And then We Fly obviously stands for, you know, like women who have basically come together to empower ourselves, educate, equip ourselves, you know, reduce the issue of gender inequality while, you know, we're flourishing in our community and aspiring to be great leaders. While we're doing that, we're also developing our female youth to be great leaders of tomorrow. So that's what FILAE stands for. And that's the, you know, why we say FILAE. And obviously we always say We Fly to actually make sure we complete it by covering the mission and the vision statement of the organization. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for that wonderful opening speech, Ajay Shabujabiamila. So I just want to mention, we do have a lot of people joining us every now and again. We have a lot of people on our platform, on our WhatsApp group and also on our Instagram. I'd just like to recognize our latest, you know, new additions to the group. Sister Fumi, Sister Fola, Queen Fumi, it was meant to be Queen Fumi, Queen Folake, Queen Ewe Shade Abiola, Queen Deborah Akele. Thank you so much for that. And Queen Mobis. Thank you also. Thank you for joining the platform. And we look forward to your great contributions as well, and just see how we can all work together to make this platform a greater place for each and every one of us. Thank you so much. So now, going on to my next slide. The FILAE Queen did mention, or the founder did mention about, okay, what we actually stand for. She did highlight them. Okay, all right, that's fine. So she did mention that already, so which is fine. So I'm just going to go straight on to the event. We did series of activities between last month and this month. We visited some schools just to try we can support them. We did some donations as well. For the girls, we donated sanitary towels, and there was also a sort of lecture on female organs and stuff like that. So you can see that on the screen. So just to enlighten our women, basically, we'd also try and enlighten them as to how to be clean, how to take care of their hygiene. Basically, we share some of other products as well, just to support them. And we also visited a school in need where we were there for half a day, playing with the children, and also donating to them as well, as much as we can. FILAE Queen will, the founder, will be shedding more light on this in a second. We also had another event where we had our first inauguration in Nigeria, in Lagos to be precise. We had it at Elegushi. where we all, well, that's what we're talking about the Amala earlier anyways, because we had Amala and stuff, you know, on the day. So it was so much fun. You know, we had a lot of female queen actually, you know, join that day. Despite, you know, it was a Sunday, we were meant to be resting at home, but, you know, my lovely female queens, they all came out there, you know, beautiful, looking all beautiful, you know, came to support. It was amazing. We had so much fun, so much food to eat, so much to talk about. It was an amazing evening. So, you know, I just, on behalf of, you know, the FILAE Queen, on behalf of every FILAE Queens, I just want to say thank you all so much for everyone supporting all these courses. We really appreciate you, and may God continue to help you all. So I'll pass it on to Aisha to just shed more light on what we did and, you know, things we achieved before we now go on to the other events that are not exactly about supporting these young children. So FILAE Queen, please, over to you.
Thank you so much. We, part of our mission and vision statements, basically like empowering our young girls, educating them, and you know, just to build them as great leaders of tomorrow. So, you know, because we realize that some of the troubles and then, you know, females go through in marriages later on in life is because they've not been educated well enough. And the idea is to make sure every female gender gets the education they need. And then so we participate and try to give back to the community. So we did attend, visited certain schools, and one of the schools I actually attended, went back to, was one of my old secondary school, Itolo Girls Secondary School in Surulere, which used to be called Government Girls College Erikmo. And it was, you know, the memories was fantastic. So we went there, talk about sexual health, feminine hygiene, you know, female reproductive system. And we had, you know, facilitators, Queen Okoyemi, that went through the whole, you know, educational bits. And then we had, you know, I did like motivational talk, and we had other FILAE queens as well that made a lot of arrangements, Honorable Funke, Honorable Cynthia, there were so many people there. And, you know, they went through, everyone did their own bits. Mrs. Oladejo, you know, because she does skills acquisition. So we went to the special needs school as well, and to visit the disabled children, the special children, and then spent the afternoon with them. We donated to the school, and we've actually pledged for monthly, you know, food donations as well to this school. You know, we did a lot of things. We had other schools that we attended as well, and then we've got other programs as well that we will be getting involved in. Other community events as well that we did. We did in Lagos and in London. We were part of some political events as well, because we know that, you know, as leaders, you know, and then we talk about breaking the barriers. As leaders, we have to make sure that we, you know, we get our females to represent us in leadership roles. So for us to be able to do this, we have to get involved in all these leadership activities as well that would enable us to get, you know, our female gender into all these various positions, because that's one of the problems that we are having. And that's one of our mission statements as well, that we need female and women representatives in everything we do. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay, thank you so very much, President. Can we open this? Can we open it? The video.
Okay, the video.
Yes, please. We're just trying to open that video. I'm sure a lot of us, while we're trying to open that, I'm sure a lot of us are aware of what's going on in Ukraine now. We hope that, you know, there'll be some sort of intervention soon. So part of our support towards our humanitarian support is to help regardless of gender anyway. So we thought that we'll help those in war as well. And we're able to, you know, put some things together and donate to Ukraine as well, which was obviously flown down to them, taken down to them as well. This is a picture of a FILAE Queen talking to us about it. I don't know why this video is not opening. Yeah, but then, yeah, so is it opening? No? Okay. Not opening. Okay, that's fine. So we were able to try and do that donation as well towards this course, just to see how we can help those in the war area, because a lot of them are actually struggling. We all know war isn't exactly an ideal thing, but then it is happening right now. We have to face reality. So let's just try and help however we can, and that's why we're able to just we decided to come together and just put this together to help them. So we are not just confined to just helping just the girls. We just help people in need in general. We did for the political, I think the president was trying to talk about, we had one in Lagos, and we also had one in the UK. So we're trying to help political leaders as well. And we're trying to engage more women to be part of politics as well. So we can have a voice in making decisions for the economic development. So we're trying to do that as much as we can. We're looking towards, other programs as well soon, which obviously we'll update you as we go along. So that's it for the programs. Now, for the winners, we normally have quiz every month. And so for this month, we had 4 winners that won our gift, and they've obviously we've been able to give them their gift anyway. So can we just give a round of applause to our winners for this month? Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. So I just mentioned, so we have Mrs. Popola, Ajia Nimota, and then Mrs. April Jagede and her Honorable Funke. Thank you so much for winning those gifts. I'm going to collect mine. We're going to share the gifts, so don't worry. So yeah. So then moving on. So we also like to celebrate our women, our queens, every time they celebrate, because we need to celebrate one another. It's not just about just having throwing parties all the time, but let's just appreciate one another as much as we can. So for this month, for February, we celebrated four of our FILAE queens in person of Queen Biladek, our favorite Queen Biladek. We also have Queen Cynthia, and then Queen Abimbola, and Queen
Adiza.
Yeah. No, my phone. So happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
thank you, everyone.
Happy birthday. Many happy returns.
Thank you, everyone, for celebrating me on my birthday. I really appreciate you all. God bless you all.
Amen.
Celebration shall not cease in our group. In Jesus' mighty name, we shall not die young.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Flying will continue to fly and shine and shine and shine until more shiny.
Amen.
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 I love you all. I love you all.
Thank you. We love you too. Thank you so much.
Love you too.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So we're looking forward to celebrating more queens this month of March. Mine is not until still later. So still, yeah. Everybody get my gifts ready. So yeah. So now, we also like to appreciate some of our queens. Okay. Ajia, please can you just honor and celebrate our queens? Thank you.
Okay. Celebrating some of our queens. We've got loads of queens to celebrate. We can't say it's a bit tricky trying to pick some, because we're all queens. We're all to be celebrated every day, and it's International Women's Week, actually International Women's Month. So we have to be celebrated throughout the month and every day. So, but we've just selected these queens, which from Nigeria. We have Mrs. Odebode, our coordinator, and everyone please give her a round of applause. We have Honorable Funke. Please give her a round of applause. We've got Queen Okweyemi, the facilitator, at the event. We have Mrs. Oladejo. She's our PRO. Please give her a round of applause. And Mrs. Cynthia is meant to be on this slide as well. Apologies. You know, I couldn't get the picture on. Please give her a round of applause as well. So thanks so much for everything you're doing. May God crown all your efforts and all our efforts as well. Amen. Thank you.
Amen. We appreciate you, Queen. Thank you so much. So now onto the program of the day. So we're going to start with our first speaker, Mrs. Yemisi Bamishile. She's a public speaker, she's a trainer, she's also a coach. I'll just give you just a few bits. Mrs. Yemisi, are you there? Okay. All right, so let me just say a few bits about Mrs. Yemisi. So Mrs. Yemisi, like I said, she's a public speaker, she's also a life coach. She's got a learning management profession. She's been into learning management profession for over 20 years now. And she'll obviously strategize and she's focused, she's focused in strategy and people management solutions for varied customers in different business sectors. She's an accredited trainer and holds a master's degree in managerial psychology from the University of Lagos. She has worked with various organizations to understand their challenges and also provide optimal learning solutions that enhances workforce performance and drive business growth. She's passionate about, I think that's why you're part of us today, about empowerment and development. She also has been involved in several social projects and empowerment initiatives over the years. And in the last 4 years, she has been engaged in consulting for various social enterprises and startup organizations. We need you here, Mrs. Yemisi. She sits on the advisory board. She sits on the advisory board of some of these organizations, and she's the chief learning officer of Abaco's Learning Solutions. So for today, she's going to be talking to us about a woman's financial capacity and its critical role in a marriage. Can we just give a round of applause to welcoming Mrs. Yemisi, please? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Patsy, thank you. It's always a privilege to be able to speak to people, children, adults, whoever. It's a privilege because at every point in time, you would see some people, if not all, that will take something out of that conversation and do great things with it. So it's always a privilege. I mean, you meet at the airport, you meet at anywhere, you meet people at different places and they say, oh, okay, there was something you said at a meeting and this is what I've done with it. This is what so for me, it's always a privilege. I count it a privilege. So thank you very much. That was a bit of a lengthy introduction, but I'll take it like that. That's the shortest I could do with the profile. Okay, so it's interesting that we're celebrating women. And can I say this? Every time women come together to do anything and they agree, it's always very powerful. Now, notice that I said come together. Most of the time, we do a lot of lip service to coming together. But anytime we really do come together to do anything, we always achieve great things because, of course, we know ourselves. We're able to multitask at various levels. So without much ado, I want to go to the topic of the day, which is our financial capacity and how it affects our marriage. Okay, so yes, well, some of us are married, some are not, some are divorced, whatever the case may be, where we find ourselves, we keep moving forward. That's another thing about women. We're very resilient. So, but marriage in itself is a commitment. Okay, and a commitment that goes with a lot of sacrifice, which we have to make. But can I say this sacrifice is always also very rewarding if we are able to play our cards right. Something that is very important for us to note before I move forward is that there are no two types of marriages. So the mistake we make sometimes as women is to compare my marriage to your own, or the other person, or my cousin's own, or, you know. So if we are also able to understand that there are no two marriages that are the same, we have half of the problem is solved, okay? Because even if they are twins, they are still different, our partners. So If I'm not looking at things from my own perspective to say, oh, okay, my friend's marriage is going this way, so I like my own. I'm not married to a husband. I'm a different personality. She's a different personality, and we're all different personalities. So the equation can never be the same. So we'll be doing ourselves a lot of disservice to begin to compare our marriages and what we are getting out of it to somebody else's. If we are doing that, we should stop it. It can never be the same. That's one. Two, there are stages in marriages. The life cycle of marriage is also determine what we get out of it. I mean, in your first to 10 years, the focus is always very different than from 11 years to 20 years, or 21 years to 30, 35 years. The focus is always different. I'll be referencing that as we move on. So, but I also would like to quickly say that I'm not showing any slides because I just decided since it's a 20-minute talk, I can freestyle. I hope that's okay.
Yep,
Sorry, yeah,
okay.
It's gone, but it's actually 10 minutes, ma. Sorry, it's not.
Okay, that's fine. I can do 5, I can do 10, I can do 15.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so I would like us to look at 4 things that always determine the success of a marriage, which would be 1, finances, 2, sex, 3, comportment and attitude, and the 4th one, food. And so if you look at these 4 things that I've mentioned, most marriages that have issues are around these 4 places. So I won't focus on all the 4 of them. I just decided to mention it because if we're able to identify where the issues are, then we'll be able to sort them out. So I said finances, sex, comportment and attitude, and then food and nutrition. Okay, so quickly on the issue of finances, I'll come back there, which is where I'm going to dwell and wrap up from there. Sex, I was having a conversation with a gentleman friend of mine that we were in secondary school together. We kind of grew up together. And I said, he's very well to do. And I said, and of course, I know he has a lot of girlfriends. I also know his wife. So I said, what's the problem? What are you looking for? And he said something very important. He said, we are men. For instance, he would like to be able to have oral sex and his wife will not have it. His wife thinks that it is not appropriate for her to have oral sex with him. That's 1. 2, he said sometimes he likes to just be himself. So I'm saying that if you cannot be yourself in front of your wife, who are you going to be yourself in front of? He said his girlfriend. He can talk dirty with her. And that if he talks dirty with his wife would say, is he drunk? Is he on drugs or whatever? But that's who he is. He wants to talk dirty at times. So I think that we should look into that and see what we can do. Also, food. There was a man that I knew a couple of years ago. He was having health issues. But in one of the training sessions I had, he said he still had to go home after the training session that day and eat his wife's food, or else she would think that he has a girlfriend outside. But I told him, I said, with your medical condition, you're not supposed to be eating anything after 6 o'clock. So why would your wife not understand that? Okay, so nutrition and then food, the type of food. Some men love food. My husband, for instance, is not crazy about food. So you can't strip him with food. But there's some men that really love food. So a wife of such a man should go out of her way to learn the kind of food that he likes and prepare it. That's just by the way. So if you know your husband falls into category of the ones that love food, make an effort. Don't say we're in America, everybody should sort themselves out, or we're in London. Somebody is willing to pay that price and get the man's attention. That's by the way. Comportment and attitude. This is so important, so important. A lot of issues, in fact, and I say this, a lot of people are just cohabiting because of comportment and attitude. She's proud. Let me say this in Yoruba. I beg the pardon of people that are not Yorubas on this platform. Komoju, you know, and all kinds of things, all kinds of attitudes, you know. We need to watch it. You must understand your partner. You must understand the things that please him. You must understand the things that displeases him. in as much as you're an individual yourself, that's important for us to take note of. These are all subtopics that we can talk about in their entirety. So, but I want to go to finances since I don't have that much time. There are different categories of women and how they relate to their finances. We have the controlling ones, we have the pampering ones, we have the indulgent ones, the nonchalant ones, and the sacrificial ones. So I'd just like to mention those types of women and how they relate with finances. The controlling one. So I'm a woman and I believe that if I have money, I can control my spouse with it. Maybe he doesn't have as much money as me, he's not earning as much as me. I can control him. So I use the money as my power tool to push my man around, my spouse, my partner, whoever it is. So the danger with that is he's going to take that for a while. But the day he sees somebody else that can give him what he wants without all that you're pushed around, he's out of the way. He's out of the window, he's gone. Okay, so that's one way that women relate with finances. Another way is the pampering woman. She's ready to, okay, so let me give you an example of that. I have an older friend that was in her second marriage when I met her. And her first marriage was, she would cook snails, she would do all of that. And the husband said, all right, God, calm down. But she's like, she has 2 boys for this man. She's trying to please him. She's trying to do the most for him. She gets her salary, she goes to buy fresh fish, she does all of that. She just spends all her money. She pampers the man silly. But unfortunately, the man was not receptive. You know, he just felt that, why are you so shaky? Why are you so eager? Why are you so? Again, we have to strike a balance. You know, it's good to gift. I'm somebody that likes to gift, and that's my own love language. But also, we have to also be careful. The bottom line is you have to know who you're dealing with. You need to know your man and how to deal with them. Okay, so yes, pamper the man, but don't be excessive about it with your finances. There is now the indulgent woman. Are we still here?
Yep.
Indulgent woman. Okay, so I'd like to give a quick example of this. The indulgent woman says, I work hard for my money and I'm going to spend it. It's good. I like to enjoy myself. I'm like that too. But there has to be a balance. Okay, so you've been abroad, maybe you've been in the UK for 15, 20 years. You don't have anything to show for it in the sense that you don't have a property there. You don't have anyone in Nigeria. All you have is the latest shoe and bags and the Ashwebi and all of that. Come on, come on. You are being indulgent, but the indulgence too has to have a limit. Even if you're in Nigeria, you don't even have to be in the UK. You are working, you've been working in a multinational for the last 20 years, okay? You've been in a bank. You have a good job, a very good job. You've been working in the bank for the last 20 years, and they also retire you because you are now in your 50s. But guess what? You have no property, you have nothing, you have, you know, you really have to think about it. It's good to wear Ashwebi, I mean, throw your head in the air, let the breeze blow you and relax, you know. You're working hard, you should enjoy hard, but there also has to be a limit. You don't have to buy every new designer that is out there whilst you have no investment. Okay, so don't be indulgent with your finances, too overindulgent. There's also the nonchalant woman with her finances. She doesn't care. She can't be bothered. The husband says, says, okay, anything you say. She's not decisive, she's just there, you know. That's also a dangerous place to be, okay? Sacrificial woman, well done. May your sacrifices pay off eventually. Now, some women are so sacrificial that they don't even remember themselves in their sacrifice. And so when they are planning that when they retire, they will now enjoy themselves. It's too late. Some don't even survive it. The stress that they have gone through finally kills them off, and somebody else comes to just sit there and enjoy all they have sacrificed for. You know, they don't have time to remember themselves. They don't have me time. There's nothing like that for them. They just sacrifice, like everything they get, they just throw it into it and all of that. Please be cautious. The final type of woman that I would like to talk about is the self-sufficient woman. Now, this woman is very smart with her finances. In fact, she has money that the husband does not know about. Now, I'm not advising you to keep secrets from your husband, but be wise, be smart, so that in the day of adversity, you can be a backbone that you're supposed to be to your husband and family. You know, do something of yourself. Even if your husband is a billionaire, you have to be self-sufficient. By the grace of God, I have just one daughter, and I have 2 boys after that. But I'm raising her to say, you know what? You're not waiting for any man, any rich man to come and marry you or take care of you. You are taking care of yourself. So when the rich man comes, he's meeting you as somebody that can hold her own space. Now, can I say this? You don't need to go to school and have plenty of degrees to be self-sufficient. I met a woman 2 days ago. She's in Computer Village. She's not, she went to secondary school and that was it. She doesn't have any special degrees also. She's a trader, but she's trading well. She has numerous shops in Computer Village. She's doing fantastically well. She has raised 3 solid children by herself, you know, and she can hold her own ground. No man can give her any crap because she's financially stable on her own. So what am I saying? We need to, as women, if we want to break the bias, if we want to break the stereotype, if we want to move forward, we must have financial substance ourselves. We must be empowered. And guess what? He who pays the piper dictates the tune. So if I'm the one sponsoring your life till your pants and your underwear, I'll tell you what to do. And there's nothing you can do about it, even if you don't like it. You would have to listen to what you have to take the crap and the bull. Okay? So that's how it is. So please, every woman at whatever level, you don't have to have certificate. You just have to have a job. You have to have something you're doing. Even if your husband is the president, you must have something you're doing. Because I have seen kings become beggars and beggars become kings. I've seen people that are very wealthy and something happens to the husband and that's the end of it. When my daughter was very young, the school she was attending at Adeni Jones, there was a woman there, her husband was a lawyer. She just used to come to school, do school runs and go home, you know, just sit down. Very successful lawyer her husband was. All of a sudden, the man became ill and he died. This woman did not have any type of job. She was not equipped for what came upon her. Guess what? She started driving the bus to do school runs for children in the school. Eventually, the school tried to help her. She started driving bus so that she can send. Eventually, the school was too expensive for her. She had to withdraw her son from the school. Very brilliant boy. But guess what? If she had been doing something when her husband was alive and very prosperous, it would have cushioned the tragedy that she faced. She would have been able to transition to doing something for herself. Yes, she might not be able to afford the kind of things that he was giving her when he was alive, but at least she would not have to withdraw her son from that school because of finances. So it is very, very important for a woman to be financially stable herself, apart from the money. And then can I say something again? Some women, their husbands are so wealthy that he gives them allowance every month, a lot of allowance. Guess what? They spend everything every month. Is that wisdom? No, there's no wisdom in it. Because the man might be out of that position. The man might go to jail. The man might die. So what happens next? What's the way forward? The woman has to have something that she's doing, whether business, whatever it is, something she's trading to get value. Something to, so what are the advantages of having financial stability or capability in a marriage? Number one, respect. Respect. No matter how rich your husband is, if he knows that you can hold your own, he doesn't have to buy your pants for you, your roll-on, or whatever. Or he says, you know what, babes, I'm a bit, you know what, can you just handle the children for this term? I'll give it back to you. And you can't, you don't have it anywhere. He's not anywhere. You know, he's not going to respect you. Some say, I want my wife to be a full-time housewife. We understand. But you don't have to leave your house to do business these days. You can do something online. You can be doing something online. You don't have to go physically. Your husband might decide that I don't want my wife to go out. Fine, stay at home, you know. But in that home that you are staying, you have to add value to yourself. You have to be able to do something because it will give you respect. The day that he's going to need help, if you cannot supply that help, he will go out and look for somebody. If there's a woman outside that says that, my dear, or Alaji, sorry, this is this. I can do this. I can help you with this other. He will turn to that woman. Simple and short. Number 2, crisis management. Things come that we do not expect. Okay. So if you have something that you are doing and there's crisis, you can help out. You can help out as a woman. If there is crisis and you cannot help out, you can't do anything, then apart from having the children and bearing the name, what other value? Number 3, we all know that we need to be able to give to less privileged. Every religious connotation supports that. We have to be able to give to people. If you don't have, what are you going to give? There's a particular woman that I know, an older woman, her husband is very prosperous, but she doesn't get the money. So when he travels out and he buys her very expensive clothes and all of that, she'll call me and say, you know what, Yemisi, please, I need your help. You need to help me sell this thing so that I can have some money. Because guess what? The husband's family will come and meet her behind the husband when the husband is not there and still ask her for things. And if she doesn't give them, they'll say she's selfish and stingy, not knowing that she doesn't get the money from the man how they think. He does everything outside. He doesn't give her that is inside the house. Are we still together?
Yep.
So apart from the fact that she got something doing by the side, she was working the man's company. She also looked for ways. So all the expensive, very expensive clothes he buys, she'll split it in 2. She'll wear half of it and she'll sell half so that she has lose money to be able to give to his family when they come and ask her, give to her own family also, and do other things. Also, another advantage of being financially buoyant yourself and equipped as a woman is value adding. Can I say this? Anytime you add value, you will receive value. Anywhere you find yourself, you'll be able to add value. If you're able to add value in your marriage through finances to your children, there are some things that your children will want that your husband will say is not important. But you yourself, you know that those things are important for those children at that point. You can reason with him. And he says, I don't have the money now. If you have it, you can give it to them, I'll give you back. You can do that. And it will make a lot of sense. It will help your children. But if you don't have the money, there's nothing you can do. You just clap your hands and say, wait for your father till he's ready, which might be never. Finally, security. I know that God is our security, all and all, you understand. But I've seen too many women that lose their husbands or get divorced. Okay. They lose their husband, they lose their source of income, they lose their identity, and they face a lot of hardship because they had nothing doing. The man was just their security. So, but if the woman has some kind of money, she has something on her own, no matter what happens, she's able to weather the storm. My mother was a nurse and my father was in the military. And so my father says, you know, I'm an officer, my wife cannot be working, you have to resign as a nurse. Okay, so she did that. And somewhere along the line, they were in Ibadan together. I had a house on Ring Road. She was in the house. And they posted him to Benin. You know how these military guys are. He goes to Benin, another set of women. And one day my mom was in the house just sitting down. And they come and tell her that this house has been sold. You have to move out. Hello. They didn't have any fight. They didn't have any quarrel. They didn't have anything. He just moved on. Thank God that my mom is an entrepreneur. She could survive. She could weather the storm. She could pick herself up and say, you know what? Okay, this has happened. I'm doing this next. So she didn't have to have boyfriends giving her money. How many boyfriends do you want to have? In fact, the boyfriends are looking for rich women these days, you know? if you see young ladies that are not married yet, which is part of the mentoring we give to them, one of the issues is that the young men are looking for rich girls. The young girls are looking for rich boys. So who is going to help who? So you have to empower yourself so that you're a good candidate for marriage these days. So in closing, I would like to say that the woman has to take hold of her finances. She has to take hold of it so that she can do all of these things and much more. Because if her finances are not in place, it would determine to a large extent how she plays her cards in her marriage. Because don't forget the 4 pillars I said that determine marriage, apart from the God factor, is finances, sex, attitude and comportment, and food and nutrition. So if she can sort out the financial part, which is why a lot of marriages break up, money issues, she would have done herself a lot of good. Thank you very much. Any questions?
That was very good. Thank you so much for that.
That was really good.
Thank you so very much for that, Mrs. Yemisi. It was actually very fun. It was a fantastic session. I couldn't stop you. I just wanted to carry on because I was enjoying it, and I bet a lot of people were enjoying it. So I was getting chat like 10 minutes.
Definitely.
So I was like, okay, might as well just carry on. The 4 points you did make, fantastic topic. I think this is crucial for everyone here anyways. Either you're married or, divorced, whatever. I think because it's going to help us a long way. We talked about attitude, health, food, good home, raising your children well, which we all need to do because like someone will say, someone said to me one time, she said, when you see robbers outside or you see wealthy people outside, they came from a home. So it's the foundation that made them to become wherever it is. Fine. The outside world teaches them as well, but sometimes it's really the foundation because if a child fears you as a mother and respects the father and mother, like, my mother must not see me, stealing or whatever. Do you understand? But then when they know my mother will actually rub my head if I do that, then you just go out and rub, So, sometimes, key is actually about having a good home for your children, raising them well, which you've also mentioned. You also mentioned about looking after your man, satisfy him indoor. That's key. Some women think it's just about I can speak English, or whatever it says, or like you said, some women can be controlling and they have finances, but then sometimes it's not about having too much, but if you have enough, take care of yourself and then still support your husband. And I'm a Muslim, and the Quran did say to us, the man is the provider, but then the woman is the comforter. So even if you are comforting the man, you can still support him, but obviously the key role of the man is to provide for you. So you can support them. I'll just give another example. A friend of mine was telling me yesterday, he said, do you know why, what's the name of this man in the Bible, married Ruth? I know everybody knows about the Ruth story. I married Ruth or Ruth's sister before he married Ruth or something. He said, do you know why he was insisting on marrying her in the Bible? Because she was a woman of value, So the sister, obviously, they gave him the sister, more or less like a gift, like just take. Do you understand? But then the Ruth herself, he had to work 7 years to marry her. Why? Because she was a woman of value. She was there taking the flock, to go and water them and everything. So sometimes women need to understand this, that if you're not adding value to a man, the next minute you just see him go and marry, you might be as beautiful as, the most beautiful woman in the world. And you see you one ugly woman outside, you go and marry that woman. Why? Because the woman is just in a wrapper or wherever, running up and down. She's adding value to the man. The man be like, okay, I'd rather invest in you and be with that woman that can't even use her fingers at home. Do you understand? So women need to understand this. Now, you talk about controlling women, we need to be cautious of. Indulgent women, they need to learn the balance, because sometimes they can be too extravagant, like you said, which is true. We have a lot of them on Instagram. Mrs. Taisha got me into Instagram lately, and honestly, sometimes I'm like, what is this? And yeah, it's true. So we need to have a balance, but God help us. Sacrificial women, sometimes they must sacrifice, do this, they forget themselves. And before they know it, they've actually lost themselves, they've lost their own value, and they while trying to like support, take care of this and that and that. Yeah. We'll be asking questions after. And then you also You also talked about self-sufficient women. They need to be smart with finance, which is good. So, I mean, in a nutshell, it's just about, women need to understand some basic. Women must be empowered, respective, have crisis management, give to others, which is good, add value. So, there has to be security in place. They need to take hold of their finances, also to have a good marriage or good relationship, whichever you're in. And then, they need to just be cautious of who they are as a person. I think what we need to do is try and understand who we are as a person. Sometimes, you might not be as beautiful as, but then if you can do this better, focus on that area, rather than thinking you have to go and do makeup or, do bomb and, do all this surgery just because you want. A man might not look at that in a woman. He might look at other stuff in a woman. So I think women need to understand this. And then that way men would appreciate them for who they are and know what they're trying to present to them, and then love them for that. I don't know. So thank you once again for that, Mrs. Yemisi. Can we have questions for Mrs. Yemisi, please, before we go on to questions, please, Queens? Question time. Hello, don't be shy. Okay, all right. I'm going to ask you the first question because I was talking. There was something was on my mind. I was thinking, okay, you mentioned something about a woman that the husband does not want her to work, right? But then the woman can still try and manage. Now, if a man says to a woman, I don't want you to work, I've heard of stories, I've seen cases like that. I don't want you to work. I'm going to take care of all your needs. I'm going to build your house, money, anything, not even necessarily give you cash like that. Some men like that. Very controlling men, I mean. They might not see themselves as controlling, but they're like, I'm going to give you everything. Just stay in the house and take care of the kids, Now, what should that woman do? Because now, if you do anything outside what the man says, then he might think, okay, you're trying to disobey me. And then that's when they come with all this, I need meant to be a good woman to me, respect me and stuff like that. So if you go outside that, then you're disobeying the man. That's what he will say. And that's what some people will say, what are you looking for? He's taking care of you. Why can't he just be patient? Why can't he just listen to what he says? What should that woman do if you're trying to balance it? You don't want to come across as you're disobeying it, but at the same time, like you said, you need to try and put some security for yourself and your children.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. You're welcome. You don't have, like I said, you don't have to leave your house to do business these days. Okay? Even if you don't want to do that. Okay, so the man gives you maybe ₦1 million a month, 2 million naira, whatever. You don't have to spend all that money. You can invest it. This era we are in is, in fact, fantastic. Unlike before, the days of our mothers. You understand? You can start investing. Now, you won't do a Ponzi scheme where they will now take all the money and then you can't cry out because the man did not send you. You understand? What are you crying for? You can't tell them that you did the MMM or whatever. So, but you have to be smart. You understand what I'm saying? You can do investments with that money. So I'm saying that, okay, so he gives you money not to buy food in the house, because I know some women are like that. He gives her money to buy expensive meat. You buy the cheap one and then keep, no, that's not what I'm talking about. Now it's 419. Okay. No, he gives her money that, what, this is upkeep money. This is for you as my wife, since I've told you not to work. Some men say, I'll pay you your salary. What do you want to go and earn? What were you earning? You're earning ₦1 million a month or 2 million naira. I'll give it to you. Take that money. I'm saying don't use all that money to buy Ashwebi or the latest gold, which is the next thing that most women do, or designer bag. No, you can buy all of that. Take half of that money, invest it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that at the end of the day, at the end of that year, he has given you, let's say, 1 million every month for you as yourself. And then this is at December, you have 12 million naira that he doesn't even know about, because he's expecting that you have bought weave, you have bought bag, you have bought Ashwebi. Do you get what I'm saying? And then you keep, first year you do that, second year you do that. Guess what? Do you know how much that money is becoming? It might not be a lot of money at that particular point in time because the man is a billionaire. But guess what? If something happens, you too, you're a millionaire. Hello?
Yeah, true.
A woman was complaining that the husband does not want to send her children, her own child. She has one child for him. He used to work in an oil company. And she was complaining. The marriage is scattered now. Why? Because she said he does not want to send her child to school abroad. He had a first marriage. The child from that first marriage, he has sent that child abroad. Now, what's the problem? The man is 60 now. They've retired him from the oil company, Schlumberger, that he was working in. She said he should go and get a job in Dubai. Now, she's been married to him for the last 20 years. In that last 20 years, she used to do round tripping. You don't understand. She doesn't know, like me now. I don't come to London again because the wahala is too much. I just go to America, do my holiday, and come back home or go somewhere else because Mama Charlie did not send for me in London. The problem is too much. Okay, and London people, they don't have your time. Old fashioned. So I've not come to UK maybe the last 8 years or so. It's America, JJ. Now, but she used to round trip. She'll go to the island, she'll go to Bahamas, she'll stop over in London. But you know those kind of expensive tickets, not our own straight tickets. I'm going here, I'm coming back. She was spending money with her daughter. She'll take her all over the world. And she has been spending money like that, no savings. The only thing she did was build a house in her village. She's not a man. I don't know why she was particular about building a house in her village. If she had built a house in Lagos, it would have financial value. Are we together?
Yeah.
She didn't do that. Now she's harassing the man that he must send her child abroad. If she had saved in those 20 years, can she not sponsor her child abroad?
Yeah, true.
That's what I'm talking about.
True. Yeah, true. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's true. I mean, out of that, after nothing, you can always save.
He can always save.
It's true.
He cannot. So you're not disobeying your husband that says, don't work. You know, some men are like that. No, my wife cannot be working, but you must be smart. If you cannot do anything online, then you are saving the money he's giving to you. So that when you need it, I've seen all kinds of things. When you need it, you have something to fall back on. It's always very important. Always very important. And like I mentioned, the life cycle of marriages, I said in 0 to 10 years, what the man is looking for in the marriage is different from once the marriage is 11 to 20 years. Don't forget, you now have children that are growing up. What he wants is different. By the time your children are grown, what he wants again is different. What you also want from that marriage keeps evolving. That's how it is. So you also have to, you know, and at any point in time, guess what? Financial capability is important from the very beginning to the end of it. It's very important. You must have it. You must have it. It's an essential, you know. So you're not even having, okay, so for instance, your husband has 3 wives. Okay, you are one of the 3 wives that your husband has. And you have your financial capability. You are okay. You're not worried. You're not stretching your neck. What's happening here? You're not concerned about all of that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Why? Because you know that whatever happens, you are okay on your own. So you're not giving yourself unnecessary headache. And what's happening in Mama BC's house? What's happening in Baba Shegun's? You're not concerned about all of these things because you yourself, you are very okay. And so you're not saying, okay, so the children went to Harvard. The children from the first wife, they've gone to Harvard. My own must go to Harvard. If he says I don't have money for Harvard, then you sponsor your child, JJ. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, thank you so very much for breaking that down for that answer. I think, you've answered my question very well. Thank you. Mrs. BC Adekoya, were you going to say something? Because I thought you muted yourself right there.
Yeah, hi, I just wanted to add a comment. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
That was, again, I totally agree with that advice about you don't have to leave your house to go open a shop or get a job. That idea about investing is very smart. It's a very good one. We have technology. Use it to our advantage. Get educated. Ask questions. Learn online. You know, and be the backup for yourself and the future. Sometimes the husband, another issue may be he overspends or he overstretches. He's the caretaker of his family, you know, extended family. They're pulling him. So then at the expense of who? Your own children and your own nuclear family. Sometimes that happens. But where is the woman in also being productive and saving and investing and taking care of things. So it's very, very important. Another thing I just wanted to add is we spend a lot of time educating and empowering the girls at the expense of our boys. We cannot forget the need that the boys also need to be empowered, strengthened, equipped, and also taught about emotional intelligence. I have to say, a lot of Nigerian men that I know by default, and they don't even know what emotional intelligence is. And then, you know, if you don't know, go look it up, go search it up. You know, when they're moody, it's a different thing. When they're mad, they start throwing tantrums. Hey, if you don't know about it, educate yourself. There's a lot out there now that we can empower ourselves, not just financially, but finances, kudos to that. It speaks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. There's a movement. There's a movement now about some ladies that put themselves together in Nigeria just to address this issue that you've just raised, to say that, look, these are girls, they're overqualified, they are smart, they are intelligent, they are too much. My daughter, for instance, will take on anybody, you understand, at her level. She will take on, and she's ready for the market. She will take on anybody. But the boys, who is training them, especially we from the western part of Nigeria, we spoil our boys. How come me, 29 years old, is still in the house. How come me, kilo the mother is preparing food, pampering him, anything he wants. They'll change the scarf for him, do this, do that, you know, especially Yoruba mothers. We spoil our boys. Our boys are the apple of our eyes. They can never do wrong. Who is training these boys so that they will not become a problem for somebody's daughter? So these women have come together to start raising that awareness, you know, because like I said again, when women come together to do things, we do wonderful things. We do wonderful things when we come together. So they're going from schools to schools, that having these talks, these discussions, these conversations with these young men to say, you know what, we have trained these boys, but young man, this girl is not a slave. You should be able to help her in the kitchen. And it doesn't make you less of a man. If you do that, you should be able to hold the baby with her and do some, you know, because in Nigeria, we have a lot of family around us. So it's easy for us. So when they go abroad, it's a lot of culture shift for them to, you know, to adjust themselves. It's always it's a tall order for them to go abroad and live there, you know, so they find it very tough because there's no help. You have to DIY and all of that. So yes, a lot of people are getting to that space now where we're beginning to talk to the boys to say that, you know what, you also must hold your space, you know, because there are a lot of young men now that are just looking for rich girls to marry. That's all they're looking for. Rich girls or women, as the case may be. That's what they're looking for, to marry. So that's it, you know. So yes, that's a very good one. So I mean, there's so many things we can talk about. And these men, don't mind them. In the average workplace now, for those of them that go to work, I'm a trainer. They call us in different organizations. We do emotional intelligence for middle level, senior, the whole staff. Apart from reading it up, we even teach them. We do exercises. We do all kinds of things. So they always have that training in the office space. They don't just comply because our culture allows them a lot of leeway to do as they like.
Yeah, it's true. I agree with you 100%. Thank you so very much for that contribution, Mr. DBC, and thank you so much for also shedding more light on that, Mrs. Yemisi. We'll just move on now to, we have more questions, but that will be later.
Okay, I can ask my question later.
No, President, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask Mrs. Bamishile a question.
Okay.
We know we talk about transparency in marriage, you know, as a very important tool for successful marriage. But a lot of women actually complain that sometimes when, about, the issue of having a joint account with the husband, because then he would know how much they're actually worth, or disclosing their wages and salary to their husband. Because sometimes when the husband now knows that, oh, you earn more than me, they just stop doing all their responsibilities. They basically believe, oh, wow, you earn more than me, so you should be carrying all this responsibility at home. Can you, shed a bit of light into that? What's your own views on that?
Thank you very much. I would say this, I do a lot of psychology. And so I like to solve problems from the roots. I said when I started, I said, you can never, transparency has different shades. You can never compare your marriage to somebody else or your man to another person's man. You know your man. Some men, they cannot see your bank account or else you are in trouble. Can I be frank?
Yes,
that's the honest truth. So, in as much as you have joint account, you will still have another account somewhere. That is if you have that kind of husband. But some husbands, they're very responsible. Even if they know how much they're earning, you are earning, they will not even go near your money. They will provide, they will do what they're supposed to do. So if you have that kind of a husband, please, why not be transparent? But if you have the one that the day he knows how much you are earning, he will not do anything in that house again. Please respect your destiny. I'm a very frank person. You see, these fingers are not equal. They will never be. You must know your own man. Your own man is not another person's man. So which type is your own? If it's the one that will turn you to a slave, you'll be working for him. He won't do anything again. So MC has this kind of money. Okay, he won't do anything again. Please don't let him see it. But if he's the one that is very matured, he will take his responsibility. He will even ask you about your own money. Why not? So it depends on who you are dealing with. One cap does not fit all. Look at the head before you sew the cap. Please, for your own sanity. Don't say, oh, my friend and her husband, they have the same joint account. You don't have to have it, if it's no work. If he's using all the money to give to women and is having children all over the place, and you say, oh, we must have joint. It's not by force to have joint accounts. You can have separate accounts. Please, a word is enough for the wise.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Wamishile.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Wamishile. Mrs. Busy said amen to that. I think we'll have just one more question from Mrs. Cynthia, and we'll just move on to Mrs. Dowd. Mrs. Cynthia? Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes, good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your messages. Yesterday was my birthday. I really appreciate everybody. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I would want to ask this question. One of my customers confided in me and she asked them, she told me something and she said, she started crying. I said, you just have to open up and just tell me as it is. If you feel you want to tell me, tell me. If you don't want to tell me, there's no problem. So she sat down and she said something happened in her home and she doesn't know how to handle it. And it's been so much bothering her. She said most times her sisters come around to the house. They come stay 1 week, they come stay 1 month and all that. So she's been having this issue with her sisters, complaining to their mom that most times the husband tried to pass moves at them. But because she knows that her husband, she didn't really want to believe that anyway. So now she has one of her sisters that stays with her presently. They traveled, they came back, and the sister insisted that she wanted to come with her back to Lagos. So now, after some months, she now realized the sister was pregnant. And she decided to go for a test and all that. So after some weeks, so just like last week, she one night just said she should just go. Her sister has been indoor for a long time. What is happening? She went to her room and was asking her questions. And she was like, nothing. So she keeps wondering, what is happening? What is happening? And the sister started, acting some funny ways to the husband and all that. And there's no more respect and all that. She wanted to know what was going on. So when sister went to take her bath, she entered her room and checked her phone. she now saw a message the sister sent to her husband saying, you need to get me that phone. If you don't get me the phone, I'll tell my sister what has happened and all that. You need to get me a phone and a sum of 20,000 naira or something. So when she saw that, she screamed and she was like, could this be real? So she now called her sister after her taking her breath. What happened? I saw this message. So the sister knelt down and was begging her and all. I said, what happened? Just tell me what happened. Now said the husband slept with her, like raped her. When she was not around, I was now asking, I said, can you just repeat yourself? She said, yes. I said, wow, this is really heartbreaking. So she now said she wants to leave, she wants to do this. Her kids, she already has 4 kids and all that, this several things. So she started opening up a lot of things to me. At that point, I don't even know what to say. I was just holding her, petting her, just calming her down. And I said, I don't know. I really don't know what to say. I don't know if I'm going to tell you to tell your mom. I don't know how your mom's going to take it. It's really so disgusting. I don't even know how you're going to do it. So at that point, I just calmed her down. So recently, she told me that she called one of her elder sisters and discussed that with her. And the sister said she shouldn't tell their mom, that the mom will feel so bad. So I don't know. She's really going through a lot, and she says anytime she sees her sister around, she thinks about it, and the husband, she's trying to forgive him. He's been begging and begging ever since that day, and her mind keeps going there. And to the extent she said that she could just one day and just make sure this guy just is off. I said, no, don't think about that. I know it's hard for you right now, but I don't really know what to tell her. I don't know if I can. I don't know. I really don't know. It's really so shocking. I don't know. And she's considering her kids, but she can't just live with it with him. So I don't know what I can tell her to, I don't know.
If I get you right, her sister is pregnant for her husband.
Now, she didn't say it to that point. I don't know, maybe she's trying to shovel I don't know. But I asked her, she said no, that the sister was pregnant, and she's with that, the fear, she didn't want their mom to notice. So she now insisted and begged her, she wanted to come with her to Lagos. So that by the time the pregnancy started growing, the mom would not notice. At that point, she wanted to just leave the village and follow her to Lagos. So she said that was what her sister explained to her. So I told her she should go and run a test and know how many weeks, how many months that pregnancy is. So to know, is it after the time she came to Lagos with her or before she came to Lagos with her?
Can I say this? She's not a smart woman, obviously. She's not a smart woman at all. Some women are just very nonchalant with their lives, with everything. She's just not a smart woman. So she caused this problem. I'm sure you'll be saying, why am I blaming her? She had the signs all over the place. She had the signs of the sisters have been telling you that your husband is harassing them. What are they still doing in your house? You have to be smart. A woman has to be smart. If your mother sends your sister to you, you will take them to your cousin's house or somewhere else. You won't bring them to your house again if you know you want that marriage to work. I started by saying that marriage is a sacrifice. It's a commitment, it's a sacrifice. But you must know how to play your cards if you are going to get any result from it. There is reward in it, but you must play your cards right if you are going to get the reward. Now, Hitler, we all remember Hitler. He had somebody he was in love with. Now, even Hitler, as crazy as he was, he had somebody he was in love with. So no matter how the man is, how crazy he is, there must be a way to handle him. Okay, so he likes women, he can't control himself. Is that the person you should now bring your sister to the house? You don't have brothers. If they want to come to Lagos, in fact, you can rent hotel for them and pay and go and give them everything you want to give them there. They don't have to come to your house. It's all those things about, what would my mother say? It's story. Now, what is the mother saying? You must understand again the amount of material you have so that you know the kind of style you can sew. You're not allowed to just sew any style like that. What if your fabric is not enough? You must know the man you are dealing with. You must know. You can't, so she's the one that caused it as far as I'm concerned, because the sister has been telling her, said she's trusting her husband. One person said it, the second person said it. Come on, with every smoke, there's a fire somewhere around. Immediately he has, that kind of thing has even come to, you will not even have house help that is a woman. I went to one of my friend's house. If you see the girl that opened the door for me, my friend is dark, what do they call it, shapely, she's there. But if you see this girl that opened the door, her breast is double D cup with small waist, yellow girl. I said, we see step out, so read it down. Down. This one is your house help. You are mad. She's out of the marriage and she's in America. She's in New Jersey. I stay with her when I go there.
Wow.
Of course, the man was sleeping with all these girls. How can you say this kind of person is your house? Are you mad? Are you stupid? They brought somebody from the village, it's the cousin. This kind of cousin, this one like this. No. You don't want this kind of family member. You just go and put her in a school in Akure or somewhere. You know, just put her in one school there and be sending money to the girl. She has no reason to come to Lagos. You have to be smart. Now, I said that at different stages of marriage, you see the same man we are talking about. Maybe after 20 years of marriage, he will now calm down, he will now sober up. But if you don't handle him well, a lot of things will have spoiled in that initial 0 to 20. A lot of things will have spoiled that will have spoiled you and spoiled the marriage and spoiled everything. But with a little wisdom, you can manage him till you get, because they will all get to that place. By the time they are in their 50s, the Viagra self is now a necessity. They can't do that much again. They are coming down. But before you get to that stage, you must be wise so that they don't spoil the things for you before you reach that place. You don't do that. So she's the one that caused it. This one, I suspect that child is her husband's child.
I sensed it too.
Yes, that child is her husband's child. And she traveled again and left her sister there. You carry your fish pie and your fish roll, you put it in front of the pussycat. So I don't blame all her sisters. They are young girls. The man will just buy them iPhone. That's it. You just buy them iPhone or tell them that your sister doesn't have to know, you know, and all of that. And that's the end of it. And they've been complaining to her. They even told her. So she has no excuse. It's her fault. Which kind of love is that? Love is no longer blind. In fact, love is wearing spectacles now. So you can see clearly.
Thank you so very much. I mean, Mrs. Cynthia, I hope your question has been, I mean, yes. James has actually, you know, shed some light in the question. So hopefully they get, you know, maybe the wife is pregnant, the girl, sister is pregnant, the husband, they'll sort it out. God will help them. It happens a lot. I've heard so many cases with them. You know, I think we just need to be careful. Sometimes we can be too trusting with people who bring around us. You know, be it sisters or friends, you know, myself and, you know, Aisha, we've had this conversation about this a lot of times. Some people you trust, your close friends, trust me, they really want to stab you. They'll stab you real hard. Especially these girls now, these days now, their highs are here. You know, so it's about money for them. Anywhere there is money, they don't care, they'll stab you. You know, someone's telling me a story about a sister friend yesterday. And she took the husband and she was even still saying that, well, you know, I told him, he said, we use jazz. She said, I use jazz. Yeah, who doesn't use jazz now? We all use jazz. Yeah, so I've used jazz to collect the man. Why didn't you use jazz to hold your man? And I'm thinking, really? They said, that's how it is in Nigeria. So I think, you know, we are careful, you know, of how we handle our marriages. May God help us. We need to be careful. May God help us. It's about security, like you said. Let's secure our marriages. Let's secure our homes. Let's protect our homes. Let's protect these men. They can be babies sometimes. Let's protect them as well to give ourselves peace of mind. You know, may God help us. So I'll just move on swiftly to the next speaker. We have Mrs. Memuna. Memuna Olaide Daudu. Mrs. Memuna, are you there, please? I just need to be sure that she's.
Yes, I'm there.
Okay, all right, perfect. Because we had issue with the internet before, but then good. So yeah, Mrs. Memuna, that's our second speaker.
Yes, I'm online.
Memuna is sorry, excuse me. She's an education administrator. She's also a guidance counselor and she's an English instructor. She's from Lagos, ATLSA to be precise, and then she's a Muslim. She has the first degree. She has a degree at Open University and also Associate English Language Teachers Association. She also belongs to the Association of Professional Counselors, Lagos State branch. And then she's a divisional commissioner. She also runs Nigerian Girl Guides Association, Lagos State branch, and so many other organizations. I think we really need Mrs. Memuna to speak to us about, obviously she's a counselor. So she'll be coming in today to talk to us about marriage counseling, domestic violence, and also recognizing the red flags. I'm sure that she'll be able to shed some lights into what we've been talking about since. So can we have Mrs. Memuna on the floor, please? Mrs. Memuna?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Happy International Women's Celebration to every queen over there and here too. I'm happy to be one of you. They've said so many things on marriages and how to keep our homes. At the same time, no matter how, as Yoruba people will say, kò sí bá ṣe lè rìn kí orí má mì. So some marriages are perfect, not really, because we are human beings. Some have some challenges, and we should be very careful when it comes to that. A man and a woman, especially matured one, and who really knows what marriage is, will not get into marriage when they are not ready. But there are so many factors that can hinder the success of a marriage. One, family interference as Africans, especially as Nigerians. Two, peer pressure. That is the kind of company the man is keeping. Three, the professional pressure, the kind of job the man does. They have said a lot of it. Financially, they are mostly stable because most men get the best job because of our society. At the same time, there are jobs that are very dangerous that affect the home. I can say this is one of the red flags that affects marriages all the time. For instance, a military personnel, a civil servant in the federal government establishment, these people are being posted out, redeployed all the time, leaving the woman alone. And there was a time I was reading a Reader Digest. The Reader Digest indicated that a woman can endure sexual urge, can control for 5 years, but a man within 2, 3, or 4 weeks is off the bar. So when a man is being posted out to another state, anything can happen. Then a man who has been working since morning, like the bankers I have said, will not come home until very late in the night. The wife has a job elsewhere. He mingles with other female colleagues. This is another red flag. That is why I support the former speaker and my other sisters who says, maintain your home, study your man, knows what he wants and his needs. That is one. Two, when a man is bullying, it is not necessarily needs to slap you. But when he starts talking, like you have visitors or there is discussion between the two of you, he's now saying, what are you saying? You are a woman. What do you know? Let me talk. When I'm talking, you don't talk. Another sign. Another sign is when the visitors are around.
Network.
I think we lost Mrs. Dowd because we've been having a bit of issue with her phone earlier.
And comes in very late.
Lovely.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
When they come very late, where have they branched? Where have they gone to? Some of them will come home and start nagging. Some of them will come home, do not even have any discussion with the woman, will just go to the bed. Sir, this is your food. I've set the table, they will not go there to eat. These are signs that we should be looking into. Then a man who will come home and say, look at how you place everything. Look at how the home is. You and your children, you don't even know that it's this money that I used to keep all these things. That is the area of failure of being well empowered as a woman. It normally happens. Another one is what they have mentioned. We have been talking about training the female child, the girl child all the time. Are we training the male children? Are we telling them that women are fellow human beings like you? What type of home they come from? Have they seen their daddy taking care of their mothers affectionately, or the daddy is just kicking the mother anyhow? These people have the tendency to abuse their wives, because what they learn from childhood is that a woman is a domestic furniture or something like that, that you need to kick before he or she gets to senses. These are another signs. Another one is over pampering. Like the former speaker have always said, I happen personally to be a victim of such. I never knew, and I'm now telling the women who are now ready. I think the young woman wants to come into the marriage. When you start visiting a guy that promises marriage with you, and you want to live with that man happily, one, don't live with the man in the family compound. No matter how sophisticated, no matter how beautiful, no matter how well furnished the apartment you are going to be given, is going to cause a lot of problem. You won't have your privacy. Two, when you are dating a man, whenever you are around to visit, the mother is coming in to say, all those things. A man who is not independent, a man who cannot stand on his own, a man who will say, my mommy said this, my mommy said that, that is another red flag. Then during courtship, you have not spoken one or two things, he started bragging, saying a lot of things to you, abusive words, some of them alcoholic. And you think that when you get into marriage, you can correct it. It is very difficult to be corrected. There are so many habits that a man puts up before you go into marriage with him that you have to correct and make sure he outgrown it before you go into marriage. It is very, very difficult to get into marriage and start correcting men. I don't know why it is like that. Maybe there is something else in Nigeria. When a man is very cool, dating you, coming to you, in fact, there is nothing they cannot promise to do, and they are doing it when you are still dating. But immediately you get into that marriage, the head will be swelling up, and what they'll be talking about is, I'm the man of the house, I control everything, go and sit down there. Very few of them learn better things. And some of these men are from over-pampered background that will affect you. Let me come to another thing, alcoholism. If a man loves to take alcohol, he's taking it, you are not controlling. I don't like this, I don't like that. Smoking, some of them even hid to do all these things when you are dating. But be very sure you monitor him, you visit him regularly, not to go into sexual intercourse. It's not necessary. Some of them even pretend to be evangelists, to be church workers, to be alphas. But when you get back to them and you say you are ready, when you now get to, you see a lot of things. That's why we have to be very, very careful. If a man tells you, I'll be here by an hour, he's no more there by an hour, keeping 2-3 hours before he comes to you, and I will come and visit you tomorrow. He's not there to visit you. You are calling him, the phone is switched off. A lot of funny hats that they put up. Girls put it up, but boys put it on most of the time. Watch out for all these things, because if you don't correct it before you go into the marriage, you will not be able to correct it again. Another thing is, you have not said anything. Give a slap before you even enter. And you say, it will beg you, it will say this about 2 or 3 times, you now go into that marriage. It's somehow not okay. That is under premarital signs you'll be seeing. Don't go into such marriage. It is very dangerous. And when you are in the marriage, open your eyes very well. Like they say, love these days put on specs. I'm on to 2.75, but your own, I want it to be 4.00 so that you can see a lot of things by yourself. There are so many ways men abuse women, and there are so many ways women abuse men. Lack of trust. If you don't trust each other, don't go into that marriage. When he says, good morning, when you now peep, the sun is shining, don't go into such marriage. Those are red flags. I'm not going to come home. I want to come and visit you. I'm coming from service. I'll brush at your place. Have you got? No, I will not be around. I'm going to visit Timothy and we have something to do. And it's like that 2 or 3 times. There is no way you can catch such guy. Don't go into marriage. Then when the really something is there, you are not getting the affection that you were getting before. He's leaving you to yourself all the time. You are no more discussing with him. He's no more discussing with you. Any little thing, he flare up, that's another red flag, especially when he has another date somewhere. Or something else is wrong with him. Because sometimes it may not be adultery. It may not be extramarital. It may be from his profession. It may be his career. It may be from his family. That is it. Another one that I want to say, the only son. The only son. The only son. And the breadwinner of a family. No matter what position that man is in the family. If he is the breadwinner of the family, in fact, he's not a polygamist, but you have rivals. You have rivals. And who is the rivals? The dependents. When you are agreeing on something here, especially on finances, and there is pressure from other state, and you are now telling him, sir, this is what we have agreed to do. You are not bringing your own part of the something. Leave me alone. You don't even know what is happening. When you see me with some money, you want to squander everything. Be suspecting something else is happening. Only son, you and the mother are rivals. 6 female children. The only son he has, that was in my own case, will be a problem to you. The mother will always be there. They go to any length to make sure that they control the guy. It happens severally. I've seen a lot of things in my career, during my career time. Living in the family compound is something. Living close to your in-laws is another problem, that they can come in and go out. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be close to your in-laws, but give some gaps. Give some gaps. Live separately, privately, with your husband and your children. Another thing is bringing children into your family, your relative. If you want any helper, please and please, not your relation, not his relation. Plan your life. Once you are not allowing the husband family to visit you regularly, allow your own family to visit. As Mrs. Bamiche has rightly said, when your family are coming to stay with you, tell them financially the way you are. It is easy if you are from the village. Get an apartment, put your mother there, let your sisters and your brother be staying with them, be sending your money to them, let him go there and give them some money. You know, as they say, familiarity breeds contempt. Living together. If people are living with you, the niece, the nephew, whatever is happening between the two of you, you know certainly the family will know. And you know what family interference is in any marriage. These are some of the core signs that it is. Then when a man is beating you, is making your life unbearable. You are no more comfortable with the home. There is no more trust. He's not taking care of the family the way he's supposed to be. He's, in fact, outrightly not responsible. Not only that, it now becomes violence. Kicking you today, kicking you tomorrow, giving you marks, that one will lead you to depression. If a man is kicking and kicking and kicking, you don't know the part of your body that can be damaged. In as much as I don't support divorce, sometimes I support separating. When you see that what is happening is not what you are expecting, you can move aside, step aside, and make sure when you are setting aside, you are setting with your children. Some men are like that. If they are under pressure, when you move away from them, they will sit down, come back to their senses, come to you, then you give them your own guidelines, what you people are going to follow. But if it continues, there is no sin in divorcing such. They say, being alive, hale and healthy, taking care of him and you is better than for you to be in the tomb, to be in the grave, where your children will not be happy. Anybody who is dead will not know what is happening again, and your children will be pushed all about. He will even remarry immediately. So we have to guide against violence. Don't allow any man to eat you, and don't push any man to eat you. It damages parts of our body. All these funny diseases we are seeing, some of us, especially in this part of the world, where the society, the family, the religious body don't like women leaving the home. Even if you are living with genuine excuses, they will still see that, you just have to bear, because your mother to go and ask her, your grandmother too, they endure. There is a limit to endurance. I would tell anybody to quit a violence home. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma.
Thank you so very much, Mrs. Dowdy.
Yes.
I believe that I think you did mention about some points which are actually key. And sometimes women tend to just we can be very accepting sometimes, especially when we want to keep
Yes.
yeah, we just accept some unnecessary attitude for men. Be that is bullying, not psychological, whatever. We just keep accepting it just because we just want to keep at home. But then in a way we can't ourselves, and then it's not healthy. So you did mention that factors that actually affect marriages, family interference.
Yes.
That happened. I think a lot. I don't know how the Eastern part is now, but before they used to be very, very prominent in the Eastern part when family members. It happens in Southwest too. Yes. So family interference and then peer pressure. It could be from both sides, from the men's side and also from the women's side. Sometimes your friends will be the ones tell you that man is not nice or whatever. It's a lie. They won't take that man from you. So many factors like that, and also professional pressure. Either the man is the workaholic or the man is workaholic, and you're not able to balance it. So these things actually affect. So it's really how to balance the whole thing that will make you have a healthy marriage. And you also mentioned that we need to spot red flags. Someone having phone calls, someone's not turning up on time. Sometimes, we women, we can give men excuses when we're in love. Oh, he's not coming around. He's not picking up his phone. Maybe he's busy. He's with another woman. You suspect. But just console yourself to say, maybe he's busy. That's why he's not picking up his call. And he won't pick his call for 2 days. A man that cares about you will try as much as possible to, even if it's just a ping message, at least just to say hi. But he just goes off like that and just come and say, oh, sorry. I just got very busy with work. Okay, red flag. She's not turning up on time. It doesn't keep to his words, doesn't keep to appointments. He's just giving excuses. He's abusive, very controlling. There's no trust in the relationship, marriage. And also, like you said, if he's the breadwinner, then definitely the family members are going to be onto you. Then that's when they start saying, you did it for your wife. Why can't you do it for us? You know, forgetting that the wife is the wife. She's the companion for life. Bless you, for life. She's going to be the one, she's cooking for you, doing everything for you. That's the person that like you're sharing stuff with. You know, you're sharing your soul, everything with at the same time, as in, you know, fluid and all of that. You know, that's person, yeah, you know, if God willing, you guys have a lasting marriage, that's person you will be with for the rest of your life. You know, but in this family, you know, they can go and come. Obviously, our mothers, we can't have two mothers, we can't have two fathers, you know, but at the same time, you know, there has to be boundaries. You know, and also when the siblings are there, you know, comparing, did it for your sister or for the wife, you can't do it for me. Go and marry your own husband. You know, so I think these are, you know, issues that sometimes happen in marriages, but it's really on how to balance the whole thing. And sometimes we get, you know, get caught up in trying to please our in-laws, and then we lose ourselves. So we, like I said, we need to shine our eyes, learn how to create a violent home. And sometimes, you know, our religious leaders always say we shouldn't, they don't actually promote divorces and separations, but then should you now die because you want to keep your home? No. So in a way, they've now told us, okay, you can, but on some boundaries. If it's been abusive, no, I will leave. I will leave. So, I think, thank you so very much for that wonderful session as well, Mrs. Dowd. We did learn a lot from that, and I'm sure that our sisters on the platform also have some questions. They obviously must have enjoyed it as well and have some questions.
Let them ask the question.
Sorry?
I said, let them come with the questions.
Yes, please. Yeah. So can we just get maybe like one or two questions before we can go on the street to Mrs. Aisha? Okay, President, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, someone asked me this question a few weeks ago, and I'm going to ask that question because I think something popped up while you were talking, ma'am. How long, you know, say, for example, would you say, you know, you're in a relationship for, and say like the person has not even thought of proposing to you, say like you're in a relationship for so long. Actually, the question is two ways. Say, you know, how long would you say like it's too early to jump into a marriage? Say maybe like you've been dating someone for like 4, 5, 6 months. Would you say it's too early to, if the person proposes, to jump into marriage with that person? Or if you've been in a relationship for so long, you know, with that person, and the person does not ever propose or think of getting married, how long would you say, if that person has not even thought of saying that for like, so how many number of years would you say, you know, that person does not have intention of marrying you anyway?
Well, it all depends. You know, when you say 6 months is short, sometimes it may not be like that. And when you are talking about marriages, we are talking about divine relationship. Sometimes 6 months may not be. Look, what about those ones who are matchmaking? Somebody is in Nigeria, another person is overseas. You just say, I've been having problem with a relationship and I'm ready to get married. If you can get me a reliable person, I'll be okay. Then within 6 months, things are happening. I know of a friend and they've been in the marriage for the past 18 years and they've been doing very fine. Whereas 6 months sometimes would just be too short for another person to go, for another couple to go into a marriage. But the thing is that the courtship should not be too long. Telling stories. I wouldn't say when you have been dating yourself from secondary school, now you are waiting admission. The admission now comes in, that is in our days. Then you are waiting. You know how many years? Like you are in Form 5 or SS3. You are now dating a guy. He's going into admission, you are going into admission. You know that one will be for the next 5 or 6 years. You want to be empowered. That one is understandable. But for you to have set a matured woman and man. Hello, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, we're
Hello?
here.
Yes, we're here
For
now.
a matured man and woman who are ready, whom everybody is thinking and saying, these people should have married themselves, and they continue postponing. What are they waiting for? The work is there, the apartment they want to live in is there, something is wrong somewhere. That's another red flag for the female or the male. If it is the male that is saying, I still want to do this, I want to build house, I want to have vehicle, you know that he has plan B. And if it is the woman that said, this work, I want to change it, I cannot go into a marriage now, I want my account to run into millions, because we don't know what is going to happen in the nearest future. Be suspicious of those ones. Once the two of them are career people, finish school, and they are ready to go to marriage, into a marriage, let them go into a marriage. Time depends on the people, but I will never support very long years of courtship without marriage. It brings other things. I think that answers that.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I think
Yes, ma'am.
I've answered your question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is everybody varies, you know, like with a 6 months scenario, and then the length of courtship as well.
Mm-hmm.
It just basically depends on individuals, and then the red flags as well.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So I'm just conscious of time. I think we just we have more questions, but probably we'll ask Mrs. Daudu much later. Let's just have Mrs. Ajaisha Gbojabiamila now to just talk about breaking barriers and also gender equality. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Mrs.
Okay, this is going to be quite short. The reason we're discussing this topic this evening is because, as we all know, is the Women International Week. Actually, it was Women International Day on the 8th of March. And, you know, before I go forward, I would just like to say congratulations, everybody. You know, as a woman, you know, we're celebrating ourselves. We know we're queens. We know we're beautiful. We're moms, grandma, sister. You know, we're the Awani Yoaye. I'll just say that in Yoruba. You know, I'm just looking for other words to beautify a woman. You know, so congratulations for being a woman. And the theme for this year's Women International Day, of course, is break the bias, and then you know, talking about gender equality as well. And as we all know, gender equality is actually part of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. It's actually number 5 on the list, to empower all women and girls and to achieve gender equality. And what is gender equality? Gender equality is when people of all genders have equal rights, responsibilities, and opportunities in different spheres of life. But the honest truth, as we all know, is with the female gender in this generation, in our society at the moment, is that there is no gender equality at the moment, which is what we are actually fighting for, which is why we need to empower women, empower girls, make sure they're educated, make sure they're financially stable. Some people, there's a lot of arguments and debates around gender equality. Some say women and men, they're biologically different. And so how can they be equal? Some men say that. And some people say women and men are not the same and they would never be the same. We're not saying, you know, biologically men and men would never be the same, because, you know, we've been created differently by God. And we always we accept men they're the head of the family. But the way things are happening in the society, women are extremely deprived. We're underrepresented in a lot of leadership roles, politically, in all spheres of life, sports, the media. Women are very, very underrepresented. So that's why we're talking about breaking the bias. We believe that there has to be gender equality. We have to have the rights to be able to do the things the male gender does, like i.e. we should be able to participate in politics equally. We should be able to we should be given the opportunity to participate in leadership roles, decision making, the social aspects of life. We're multi-talented, we're multi-skills. We raise and build a family. We make the most important decisions in life, and we are talented, we are clever. So I see no reason why women should be deprived. But all the tools to break the bias, as we've been talking about, is basically empowering women. The way we raise the female gender, equally male gender as well. So we've been talking about trying not to focus mainly just on the female gender, male gender as well. So the way we raise our boys is extremely important, so that when they actually grow to be men, they can build their home, they can raise their girls in a positive way as well, that would impact the society. Because whatever we put in our boys goes a long way. That's what they're going to learn. That's how they're going to go into life and raise young children. That's how they're going to build their family. So breaking the bias involves, not to be, we need to stop the stereotyping. Imagine a world, which is free. Everyone has freedom of speech. Everyone has the ability to be able to achieve the highest strength of doing things. So breaking the bias talks about not being, racist. It doesn't matter where you come from, male, you're female, your gender, your class, your religion, whether you're white, black, it doesn't matter. Everybody has to be equal, because we are all equal before God anyway. So what I'm going to say tonight, word of wisdom, is wherever sphere of life you find yourself in, try to break the bias, put it that way. So contribute to the community, give back to your community regardless of where you are, which is one of the things we did for the Women International Day when we donated to Ukraine. Some people believe giving back to the community, because you live in Nigeria, you only have to give back to Nigeria. Because you come from the East, I only have to give back to the East. Because I'm Muslim, I only have to give to Muslim. Oh, because I'm a feminist. Some people are feminists. You only have to give to the women. No, it's not about that. It's about giving back regardless of gender, race, class, religion, any sphere of life you find yourself in. Just be the best of, who you are as a woman. You are a queen. So just do your best. And then we need to try and work together as one. What I do find, which is a big problem when it comes to we women, is that, I know, I'm sorry to say this, we actually backstab ourselves a lot. They talk about trying to increase the number of women in political groups and leadership roles and, different spheres of life. But when women come together, if we can be united and have one voice, they can't use the divide, separation and divide rule. What is it called again? Can someone help me out? They can't use it. A lot of men do that, you know, when it comes to women. And that's why women don't get to those, you know, positions that we're supposed to get to. But if women can come together, yeah, and basically, thank you so much, Victoria, divide and conquer. Thank you so much, Madam Victoria. If they can do that, come together and have one voice, then we can achieve that mission. We can break barriers, we can break the glass ceilings. As it is at the moment, the glass ceiling is still there. We need to break it. We need to be let loose. We need to go to the world and achieve things because we are warriors. We're soldiers. We're achievers. We're great leaders of tomorrow. We can do anything we want to do. We have the knowledge. We have the power. We have the capacity. We have the wisdom to be able to achieve anything in life, regardless of whatever situation we are in. We are women. We have the ability to do so. So if we can come together with one voice, yes, we can break the glass ceiling. We can break the barriers. We can bring gender equality into place, and we can have the first female president in Nigeria, the first female of everything. Women are achieving things in life. They're doing great. We need to carry on doing those positive things. We have to be united and be the powerful leaders of tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you for that wonderful speech, Mrs. Aisha, our president. Yeah, I think in a nutshell, it's more mainly about what's going on around at the moment, and the topic for discussion, which is breaking barriers, and also focused on gender equality. I think that's a key issue that needs to be resolved. I mean, obviously, a lot of companies that we're familiar with, especially in the Western world, also in Africa, in Nigeria as well. I'm sure that on one hand, I can count how many senators or how many House of Reps we have in the House of Senate. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, so, and there was a statistic that someone sent around. I think it was about the countries that were being led by women, how successful they were, how well they coped during the COVID compared to countries that were, you know, being ruled by their counterpart, by the men. So in a way, for me, they need to understand that women, we need to be given the opportunity to lead, because we have so much to give. We can multitask, we can do so much, you know, if given the opportunity, but they just wouldn't accept it because of the man ego. So we understand that, but then we need to give, let's just try as much as possible to advocate for this gender equality. They need to just give us that, you know, when you look at even salaries as well, you know, whatever it is you're doing as a woman, a man that is doing the same thing, trust me, the man is earning so much more than yourself. So, you know, our president did touch base on a lot of these things. You know, it's mainly about, you know, there needs to be equality. There needs to, we're trying to see how we can advocate for this, you know, it's part of what we also want to do as an organization. And that's why we actually come up with this platform, just to see how we can empower more women, to be able to give them a voice so that they can do so much in the community as well, in terms of, you know, adding value to the society. So I don't know, does anybody have any question from the president? Does anybody want to ask the president any question? I think there's someone that's trying to talk with them. Anybody?
Any general question or any of this?
Let me ask a question.
Okay, all right. So.
She talked about the political space. Well, should I say the question or?
Yep.
Okay. In Nigeria, the political space is very rough. And if you want to be a woman and go into that space, it takes a lot. One thing you mentioned that is very true is if only women could come together. So the women that have access into that space, if only they could act as a bridge to bring the right crop of people into that space, then it will be easier, but that is not the case. If they see somebody that is not, in quotes, in that, that has something to offer, that is not the stereotype kind of person they see, that they will tear her down, they will pull her down. So I don't know what we can do about that, but it's so everybody that has integrity, dignity, or anything to offer just stays away for the sake of their sanity. So that's what we find in the Nigerian space and the political. So I don't know if there's anything you can advise.
Good evening, ma'am. It's that topic is such a big one because it's like personality. So that's why we're trying to educate more women so that they can understand the consequence of those actions. What we've noticed is that you nominate one person because of their strengths, their knowledge, and their ability to be able to get to that particular leadership role. And then other women comes along and then they're like, hey, can you see what she's wearing? She's this, she's that. They will start for no reason. These are proper, real examples. You know, the things I'm saying that I've actually seen and witnessed. And because of that, 2 or 3 of them would gang up and start spreading rumors about this person because automatically they don't want her to get there. Then the male counterpart just comes along, slides in, and gets to that top position. Because the male counterpart, most of them don't have time to gossip and be looking at what type of shoe she's wearing, what type of bag. Is my own actually be more expensive than the one she wore last week? They don't have time for that. So, and that's a major problem that we women are facing. So to be able to get to that, role, it's not like we don't have the knowledge. We have the knowledge. We have the ability. And the thing is, when you talk about the political space as well, look at the population of women to men in Nigeria. Actually, in 2021, it was almost 50-50. That's what the statistics says. But then when you look at that, look at the percentage of the female population that actually goes out there and do the voting. It is the women. So that means we have the strength, we have the power in our hands to vote for whoever we want to vote for. But still, we will vote for the men because of all these little silly things. Hey, I'm not going to vote for her. If I vote for her now, her own car will be bigger than mine. That is the main problem. She'll be finer than me. That is the problem. But then the men will come with the 2,000 naira and a bag of rice and distribute. Most of them don't even have PVC cards. Then we will go out there, the women, with our children and in the sun to go and vote for the men. It's not like we shouldn't support them. They're still the head of the home. But if we keep talking about breaking the glass ceiling, breaking the bias, then we have to be united. We have to have one voice. We have to set aside all our differences, regardless of what it is. Because once we are united with one voice, then, like Yoruba says, they say something. I remember my grandma used to say something, which is Oshushu or what, the broom. When you put the broom together, and it's not easy to break a whole broom. But when you take a broomstick, just one stick out of it, you can break it and just throw it into the fire to burn straight away. But to break a whole bunch of broom is absolutely impossible. That's what happens when you are united. And I suppose that's why APC uses that logo as their own thing. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that it's such a big issue, which is why we're doing all these educational talks. So maybe when we start talking to more women, even the market women from the grassroots, and educating them on how to break the bias, how to break the glass ceiling, what you can do differently, even if it's hard. Forget about Mrs. Bamishele just bought the best Range Rover in town. If Mrs. Bamishele is our candidate, then we are all going to vote for her, regardless of what happens. Because we know she knows she knows the pain of menopause. She knows the pain of labor. She knows the pain of childbearing. She knows the pain of menstruation. She knows when the hormones are all over the place. She knows when she has to study, take care of the house, bring up her children, and get them to do their homework. She knows that she has to multi-skill and do all these things and still be a righteous woman. She understands the pain. A man, actually physiologically, biologically, and how God has designed the man's body is completely different from the way God has designed a human's body, with all the hormones, from the central nervous system up till everything, which is why men will say, they can't multi-skill, they can't do all these things together. And they wonder how a woman would be in the kitchen, and still be taking care of the house, and still be doing Bible study, and still be taking care of the children, and still be doing homework, and still have time to go and check her Instagram and still do her HYB at the same time. It's because of the way God has designed us, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. We just have to use more of that uniqueness that God has put in us. But one of the biggest problems we have is that one voice. And we have to just keep educating till they understand that they have that power and the strength in them to be able to use it positively to change our generation, to change our community, and to change our nation. I think that's what we have to do, because it's a big issue, ma. Thank you. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so very much, President. I've got a question that I want to ask. Okay, so with someone like Mrs. Okonjo-Iweala, obviously, she's well learned, she's well respected, and someone like herself, someone like Mrs. Awoshika, they are leading the space when it comes to women. How come they are able to succeed? Despite all these challenges, because I'm sure that they must have met with a lot of men in whatever field they were in, but they were still able to succeed. They were still able to break that gas ceiling. They were still able to be known for who they are right, at the moment. A lot of people respect people like Michelle Obama, because that's something that she was a wife to the president at the time. She was still well respected because everybody recognized the talent that she was in, she had in herself. And someone like Beyonce, for example, people recognize the talent in herself. She's very successful. I'm not sure if she was married to Jay-Z, she might still be successful, because you can tell that she's well driven. She to me, sometimes when I watch her documentary, like, she doesn't even rest at all. She doesn't relax. Okay. I'm just getting this comment now that Kwara State actually have over 40 women in their cabinet, which is fantastic. I'm not sure if this is across board in Nigeria, but for Kwara State to actually focus on empowering women and having 40% of women in their cabinet, that says a lot about Kwara State. They're recognizing women in that state. But then for what happened to other states? Why are they not emulating this? Why are they not giving women that voice? Why are they not helping women to actually, come out and be successful? Going back to what I was saying, so women that are actually able to succeed, something must have been able to support them. Kwara State, the government did, I'm sure, for them to have 40 women, they must have, okay, maybe they recognized women and they thought, okay, maybe if we have more women in our cabinet, that would actually help our country, our states grow. I don't know. I'm not there. Now, Okonjo, something must have, helped her. Maybe someone helped her, for her to be that woman that everybody, the first reckon with. Someone like Mrs. Alakija, the blackest, woman, richest black woman in Africa. Something or someone must have actually supported her to be that woman that everybody's saying that, I respect her. Someone like Oprah Winfrey, everybody know her. So how come we're able to just, we look at this, fine, we talk about glass ceiling, we talk about gender equality, but then see some women that's able to break through. How are they able to go through? How are they able to do this?
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. There's quite a number of things that, we've been trying to look into this topic to see what these people have been doing differently. What I would like to say as well is that for any achievements that a male counterpart achieves, a woman would probably have to do times 10 the amount of work that male counterparts did to achieve their goals because of all these issues that we're talking about anyway. For a female counterpart to get to where they have to be, we're trying to, reduce that gap, bridge that gap at the moment, which is why we're talking about all these things. You have to really stand out. You really have to stand out. You have to stand out in such a way that, there's something you'll be doing differently that is unique about you. Perseverance, and you have to be focused. Even though someone says to you that you can't achieve that thing, even if it means falling down 100 times, you need to get up again and keep going. Because you yourself know that at the moment, with the generation we're in, you have to fight 10 times more to be able to get that position that your male counterpart is fighting for. And basically, you need to stand out in the crowd. You have to trust and believe in yourself. No matter what they say, that, oh, you can't do it, you have to keep going. You have to empower yourself. You have to, have the right network as well. Be at the right place at the right time. And there is one major topic that we have been talking about. If you are intelligent and you are aspiring for a very big leadership role, if you are beautiful at the same time, you have a serious problem among the men. Because one of the tools they use is they would come, sorry, I don't know, I'm looking for the right word to use. They would approach you, they would toast you, they would torment you, they would bully you, they would do everything to be able to bring that career aspirations that you have, to bring it down. In that political world, especially when they see the uniqueness in you and they see the potentials in you, the fact, and one of them, as soon as one of them achieve that goal, they will use it against you. When you are getting to the top or you've been given a position, they will be like, shut up, I beg, or you want us to expose you. I beg, forget that leadership role. If you don't move Vamos to one side, your career is finished. It's quite difficult. It's more difficult for the women, but you have to keep going. You have to set your standards. It's going to be a fight. It's like you are in a war zone. You have to set your standards. You have to be very disciplined. You've got to be focused. And you have to be doing something different that even if they want to get rid of you, they can't, because they know that you are that link that they need. That's the idea of standing out. And you have to be firm You have to be a no-nonsense person. Even though you still have to be humble. The balance has to be right. You have to be very humble, but you have to take no nonsense at the same time. That's you have to be very assertive. Assertive is the word. And you have to be ready to work. Because the fact that you say no, just know that the work is harder. So you are in a battle zone. And with God on your side, you have to be prayerful. With God on your side, your hard work, perseverance, your stability, and finance. Because they will torment you with everything. They will want to give you chicken change to bully you out of the line. You're like, what are you looking for? Is it not a million naira? If you give you this, you go and shut up. But if you have your job, you have your business, and the amounts they are, what they are offering you, even they would even look at you and think, they will even step aside. And you have to try and keep very clean records, because they will dig anything when it comes to a woman. They will dig anything. When you come out, that's when they will tell you the day that your mother slept with your father, that's the day that God created you. They will bring all of that out just to bring you down. I'm sure if we bring Mrs. Awoshika, and it goes, I can't normally pronounce her name properly. Sorry, help me. Yes, I'm sure if we bring them to this platform right now to come and tell us their experiences, I'm sure they won't finish talking to us today. They would have been through all of that as well. But they kept following their dreams. They kept going. It's a bit like gold. If you say everybody sees gold on the shelf, well polished, it looks nice and everything. Now let us ask gold, what did you go through before you became shiny, before you became polished? It went through the goldsmiths, hammering, mining, burning, shaping. Those are the sacrifices we have to go through as women to get to where we are. And unity is extremely important. I have to be my sister's keeper. I'm going to support my sister. She has to get there. So all those things, I bet they have their own support network as well. Because, one person is not an island. They had some support network as well. And that support network has a lot of women in it. So if we support ourselves, we will definitely get to where we are going. So the perseverance, the focus, everything is key. Being able to stand out. When they know that you know what you are doing, when they know that if they remove you from that link or that puzzle will never fit, then they have no choice. You have to make yourself that special key that opens that door. Make yourself that special piece of a puzzle that has to be fitted so that the puzzle can work. You have to make yourself that gap in a bridge that brings a bridge together and make it work. I believe that's what they're doing differently. And we pray to God Almighty to give us the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that surpasses everything to be able to do that and do more. I hope that answers the question. Amen. Thanks.
Amen. Yeah, you did answer. So it's just about trying to be different and just, keep your head up and just to focus on your goal, basically be disciplined. Try as much as possible to just keep a clean slate, not let anything taint you in a way for them to try and drag you down, because they want to come at you when you want to start succeeding. And I appreciate that. I understand that. Yeah. Okay, that's good then. I think we can only try. Like it's said, if they want to dig anything out, they can. And in this social media era of ours, if they want to even try and build anything or carve any story out, trust me, they will. They can even fabricate, and even you can see some videos that they will just merge and say that was. What will you say? Do you understand? I think it's just, you know, we can only just try. We can only just try. Sometimes, you know, I feel like a lot of women, you know, some that I've spoken with, they want to do so much, but then, you know, because of these barriers, sometimes they are forced to have to sleep with men to get a job, you know? Despite that you're very, very, very intelligent. But then in Nigeria, especially, if you don't have that connection, then you have to sleep with someone to get a job. Even you have first class, you have to. And then, you know, someone was telling me about a cleaning job. This person was going to pay this girl for cleaning his house. And it was still saying, but I have to sleep with you 3 times. And I'm like, boy, she's going to clean. So the friend I told me, I said, but she's going to clean. So you're going to pay her for cleaning the house. She said, yeah, but don't worry. The girls know that. That's how they do it in Nigeria. If she doesn't sleep with him, she won't get the job to clean for 40,000. So by the time you sleep with her for 3 times, then she will do the job. You pay her for the job, and you will now pay her extra for sleeping with her. So I'm like, okay, why didn't you just go out and just get, you know, someone outside? You know, so this girl now, because she's helpless, she has to do it. So you can imagine how many people she has to sleep with because she wants to put food on the table for her family. Maybe she has, I don't know about the girl. And it's very, very sad because even our society doesn't support, you know, women like that. In the UK, if you're a young girl, you might be on benefits, you might be government support you and things like that. But in Nigeria, sometimes they are at the mercy of this men that just take advantage of them. It's sad. But then still, there was a story, I don't know if you saw a story of a lady that was riding bike. And then I think when the government actually stopped the bikes or something in Lagos, she was shouting like, "What am I going to take care of myself or go to school and stuff like that?" And some people actually came out to donate cars for her. They're like, you know, wow, you know, she's a young girl. She's not focusing on looking for a man that would take care of her. You know, she's rather trying to survive, trying to strive. And some people still recognize girls that can still withstand all of this pressure, but it's not easy because sometimes when people say stuff like it's not easy. But I think, you know, that's what our platform is for, and we try and support, you know, girls as much as we can, but we can't get everywhere. Yeah, you know, we just need to just keep advocating to young girls to just keep your head up, you know, regardless of whatever it is that is challenges you face. Just try and be as strong as you are, be focused and be disciplined as well. Do not anything to distract you from your goals. You know, men will come with their stories, a lot of things, you know, just crazy. They record people now when they're sleeping with you. You know, when you come with their stories, so just do not let anything, you know, distract you. And then once, if you are focused, you will make it by His grace. So do we have any question? But thank you so very much for that, President. I appreciate it. So do we have any questions? Sorry. Sorry, do we have any question? Yeah, I'm not muted. Do we have any question from the Queens, please, on the platform? I think they're tired.
No question.
All right then. Sorry? Somebody said they want a question. They have a question. Oh, no more question. Okay, all right. So that's fine. Thank you so very much, our speakers for today. We do appreciate, you know, for enlightening us. I've learned so much from this session today, and I believe that everybody has. You know, I was actually surprised. Everybody stayed till now. We said it was going to be for an hour, but it's been almost 3 hours now. We're still here, so that means that
interesting.
Yeah, so that means that, you know, you Queens did, you know, you did us well. You know, thank you so very much. I think, you know, let's give them a round of applause, please.
Yes.
For the speeches we did, we really learned a lot. Thank you so much. Even when I was saying 10 minutes, someone messaged me like 10 minutes because thinking that topic is going to 10 minutes. Okay. So it was well worth it. You know, we thank you so much for spending your time with us. Thank you so much for enlightening us. We did learn a lot, and then, you know, I'm sure that we can still continue this conversation, you know, as and when. If you have any question, we are still on the group, so we can still chat, you know, just to get across the so. And we do hope that you'll be able to respond to that as whenever we can. And then, so on behalf of myself and the Queens, I say thank you to our speakers. And also to all the Queens that were present today, thank you all so much for joining. I understand, you know, it was a bit of short notice. We didn't exactly plan this early. I mean, we didn't notify you early, so, but you still turn up, you know, that's why you're Queens. Thank you. Much love always. So yeah, so for the next event, we will notify you on time. We obviously, we're always planning a lot anyways for FILAE. We should be planning something soon. We are planning something soon. So we'll notify you on time as to when it's going to take place, what we're actually going to do. And we look forward to you all joining and then, being part of it. For the, we're going to have an event. No, I think, don't worry, we'll notify you. We'll post it on Instagram, post it on our WhatsApp group as well. We'll inform you all. So, and we look forward to you all joining us. So once again, thank you so very much. And we appreciate you. So, sorry, go on.
Can I just say that, can everyone please follow the Instagram page, FILAE with Fly? Can everyone follow the Instagram page, please? And if there's anyone that hasn't filled their membership forms, can they please kindly do so? Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I hope there's no more question. Thank you, and have a lovely evening. Good night.
I just want to say thank you so much to Mrs. Bamishele and Mrs. Daudu. I really, 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 really enjoyed this topic. And I think we're still going to bring you back for more question and answer session, because a lot of people have been sending messages to me like saying, oh, wow, that's good. That's really good. Yeah, that was very, very productive, And then our FILAE sister that joined from America, she sent a message as well that it's time very well spent, that's, it was good. So I just have to say that. Thank you so much, Mrs. Bamishile. Thank you so much, Mrs. Daudu. Thank you so much, our Honorable Secretary, Ajia Sekinat Adams. Thanks for always. Well done. Thanks, everybody. Mrs. Oladejo, YSA, Mrs. Cynthia, Mrs. Dabiri Ronke, Mrs. Funke, Queen Bilade. She said that we should wear Queen Adeleke, Queen Awolese. I think Mrs. Odebody just joined us, but we're finished now, so sorry. Thank you so much, everybody. It's good to see you. It's good to have you, but we're going to be arranging more and more sessions. Appreciate you all. Love you all.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Bye. Thank you. I'm so sorry that just joined you. I'm so sorry.
That's
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Thank
no
you.
problem. Thank you so much.
Bye,
everyone. FILAE.
Welcome. Bye.
We fly.
You fly.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. We fly.